Okay, guys, it is 2:30. We did that one in 10 minutes, so now we're going to do this one in less time. We're in the US Open men's bracket. We're breaking down the bottom half of the men's draw 2010. We are in, actually, this is Novak Djokovic's quarter. We are looking at Nikolai Davydenko heading up the top of the section. Uh, he's the 6th seed Russian. Kind of had some misfortunes this year, injuries and stuff, but he had some good wins closing out last year and even opening up this year. So who knows how he will fare in New York, but he hasn't been stellar since January this year. Needless to say, he opens against Michael Russell, the American. You have to point out the Americans that are in the Open. He's got a little tricky draw because he's got, cuz Richard Gasquet, the Frenchman, former top 10, who's not seeded, is a possible second round for him, and he's 1-1 head-to-head. Their last meeting coming in 2005. Both of their meetings coming in 2005, so they haven't played in 5 years, and both of those meetings were on clay. Should he get past that in the third round, there's a possibility he could run into another little tricky match in the round of 16 with that of the American Andy Roddick, the 9th seed. Head-to-head, Roddick leads that series 5-1. I don't think Davydenko has a stranglehold on how to handle Roddick. But, it's New York. Roddick hasn't been playing that great this summer. So we shall see how it goes, how he's still holding up for Namano and all that jazz. He doesn't have an easy road to that 16 as well, because he has a possible third round clash with that Frenchman, Gael Monfils, who head-to-head leads Andy Roddick 4-3. Their last meeting, I think, was... when was their last meeting? That's a good question. No, but it was sometime soon, a little while ago. I can't think. This is why it's important to do your research before you do these videos. I apologize. But he's 4-3. I think the last meeting was last year at the French Open, if I'm not mistaken. But I could be wrong. Anyway, we get to Novak Djokovic, who is the 3rd seed from Serbia. He opens up against fellow Serb Viktor Troicki in the first round. They had just played not too long ago in Cincinnati, and Novak won that in straight sets. And he leads head-to-head 4-1. His round of 16 could be there's a lot going down in this section of the draw, and particularly this little quarter area, because he has a possible round of 16 with either red hot Marcus Baghdatis, who got to the final in Cincinnati. No, he got to the final in he got to the semifinals in Cincinnati, and then he got into the quarterfinals of New Haven, the Pilot Pen, last week. So he's had a little resurgence. He beat Rafael Nadal, so he could be going in with a lot of confidence. 16th seed. He opens against Arnaud Clement, the Frenchman. There's a possible third round for Baghdatis, and they're really red hot this summer. Almost won the US Open Series. Marty Fish, the American 19th seed. He's just been on the tear. You also have other notables. You have Robbie Ginepri, you have James Blake, Juan Monaco, the 30th seed, Thomas Belushi, the 26th seed. Igor Andreev, the Russian. You have a lot of talent, players that are unseeded, that have made noise in the past, that need to be recognized. And as far as this section goes, I see Davydenko and Roddick in the 16. If anybody gets upset before that, I will put my money on Davydenko before Roddick. But I feel like they'll play out to a 16s. And then I see Fish coming through to a 16 with Djokovic. And then I see a rematch of the Cincinnati semifinals, where Roddick versus Fish. And I see Fish coming through that one. Just to let you know, to his first semifinal of the Grand Slam. We have the last section, which is Roger Federer's section of the draw. He is the number 2 seed, and he is I think he's won 4 or 5 U.S. Opens. He won, don't quote me on it. I think it's 4. Anyway, top of his section is Robin Soderlund, the Swede, the 5th seed. He, should have a tricky match in the clash with Taylor Dent, the American, in the second round. Should Taylor play through. But I feel like his first real challenge will come if he can play through to the round of 16 and Marin Cilic can play through and be healthy, the 11th seed, the Croat. I feel like that would be an interesting match, and that's a possibility, breaking down the draw. You have Roger Federer at the bottom, who faces, a little challenge in a third round meeting with Leighton Hewitt, who is the 32nd seed, who just snapped the 15-match losing streak to Roger Federer a couple of months ago. I think it was Jerry Weber Open in Germany. The head-to-head, Federer leads 17-8, and after the 15, Hewitt finally tacked on one. His round of 16, should he get past Hewitt, he would be facing a possibility of Jürgen Melzer, who he played at Wimbledon this year, but beat him in straight sets. That was their first meeting, so we don't know if Jürgen will handle the pressure a little better this time. I'm sorry, I'm just so monotone and so dry tonight. It's just really early, so bear with me, please. I'm just breaking it down for you guys. You have some notables in this a lot of notables. You have Taylor Dent, the American. You have Thiemo de Balker from the Netherlands. Young hot player. He just got to the semifinals of the Pilot Pen before this. You have Fernando Gonzalez, the Chilean 27 seed, who's dangerous on the hard court. Strong forehand. He can move a lot faster than one would think. You have the Spaniard Albert Montañez, 21st seed. You have the Japanese player Kei Nishikori. You have Paul-Henri Mathieu, the Frenchman, Leighton Hewitt, of course. And you also have the 2003 finalist Juan Carlos Ferrero, the 22nd seed, who I believe will kind of be like a little dark horse in this little section. That being said, I have Juan Carlos versus Federer. I put Federer / Hewitt because I feel like Hewitt, if he plays right, he could, prove something to Federer. He could take him out early. It could be a real big upset. But I actually see, I have Federer on paper, but it could be either or. In the 16s, I have Robin and Cilic in the 16s. I have Robin and Federer playing in the quarters. I was unsure of who to pick, but then I said Federer. When you stack it up, Federer's going to do it. Federer and Fish in the semis. It's kind of tough to call. I don't know. I want to say that Fish will come through this time, revenge his loss in Cincinnati final, and he will make the final with Rafael Nadal, where Rafael Nadal will finally claim the U.S. Open. That's my breakdown. I enjoyed you guys. Love you. Thank you for watching. Bye.